So the the title, the theme or the topic of the podcast is majorly on trading, which is the experience and the struggles. I have some guests here. Hopefully, they join us very soon, and I'll be introducing them to you. When we talk about trading, the experience and the struggles, a lot of traders think it's about the lifestyles or about you know the luxuries that you see on the internet. But there are things that bring about being a trader. There are a lot of things that comes across you to be a trader. It has to be the experience you have in the market, the struggles you've gone through throughout the market. We have people who started trading this year. We have people who have started trading in the last 4 years, and people go through different experiences. Of course, there might be a base experience for people, but at the end of the day, there are different experiences for people. How they go through those phases is very, very important to individuals. So, I believe by now, let me see. So, I believe other people here as well will have, one thing or other to say, but we allow that to speak when my guests are here and they open the floor with you guys. So, I will go ahead to introduce myself. I'm Brainiac and the founder of ProTradeFX, where I literally share trading insight on majorly SMC, supply, demand, and Malaysian SNR. I've been trading this concept for a while. I've literally been trading for a while, and I will be sharing my journey with you. I'll be sharing my insight with you once my guests are here. So I think I have us and John Ejiga, who is the owner of J House of Forex, is a very good friend as well. I think they have a lot of things to share with you as well. So I'll hope that you will be on this stream till the end of this session. I think the whole of this session should be about an hour, 30 minutes, if not less than that. So we should have about an hour, 30 minutes for the whole of these sessions. So I think I have some familiar faces. Okay, it's good to have you guys on board. It's good to have you guys on board. So let me see if I do have, you know, um, I think Galactico is here as well. Okay, John, my guest is here. He's already on board with me, who is in the person of Johnny Jiga. He's a very, very brilliant analyst. He teach about a lot of concept in trading, not just smart money concept, which is now the get to concept that's paramount on social media right now. A lot of people think if you are not trading smart money concepts, you're not trading. But that's a lie. In fact, when we say smart money concept, it's a concept, not a strategy. It means that you could infuse different trading, life into trading pattern into smart money. You can use the Elliott wave, you can use the harmonics, you can use, a lot of concept into, trading smart. The idea is for you to trade smart, right? It's not for you to show who is the best trader. Just trade smart. So he will be here to share his own personal trading experience and the struggles itself. Probably he will focus more on what happened in the last 1 year or throughout the whole of 2024. So I have in person of Johnny Jiga here. I think he should be joining us. For me personally, I've signed out completely for the year. There are times when you have to take a break, right? And this is that time of the year for me. Most of my mentees, most of my people who have been a part of my channel knows that at this time of the year, I'm signed out already. I've signed out already. There's not much for me to do in the market compared to general people who tell you to lock in by December. I'm always telling people when you trade smart money concept, you have to be smart. What does smart money means? It means that they are participants in the market. We have the commercials, the non-commercials. And these participants also have breaks. The banks, the hedge funds, the institutions, they also have break, which is a rollover period for them. That means they have to take a break from the market, right? So if people who I'm trading like, or we all say we trade like the banks, if people who I'm trading like are taking break, so what exactly am I looking for in the market? Who is going to put in the volume? Who is going to put in the volume? Who is going to put in the volume? Nobody. No. The idea you have about smart money. So I'll be allowing Mr. John to speak right now. He's already with me right there. So I'll allow him to open the floor for you guys. Okay. So Mr. John, you have the speaker already. Mr. John.
Hello everyone. Greetings. So I don't
We
know
can
if
hear
my
you.
microphone is audible yet.
Yeah, it's very okay.
Okay. Hello everyone. Greetings. Thank you, Brainiac, for having such a wonderful section. I can see the participants. You guys are turning up. This is very nice. Please share the invite link with your friends. We are going to be spending some study time together. Personally, I'll be sharing some insights, as he said earlier, into my experience so far and the struggles I've faced within this year, and to also share with you guys some um, insights to also help you with your own struggles and maybe little things you might be facing currently in the market, and also how I have been able to um, cope with trying to build up a digital platform under trading, and also my personal trading life, the struggles in between balancing all this stuff. So it's going to be an interesting section, and I look forward to sharing many insights with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. J. Thank you for being part of the stream right now. Before they join us, I would like to share a part of my own experience. A lot of you have joined me in different, sessions like this, podcast like this, where I try to enlighten you about understanding trading the way it is. You have to understand the trading the way it is, not the way people tell you what trading is. How do you get into the trading space matters a lot to you as a trader. What do you need in the market matters to you as a trader. The knowledge itself also matters to you as a trader. So the type of knowledge you consume will play a major role in your experience and in the struggles you might go through in the life of as a trader, the type of information you consume. So for me personally, I've understand trading to be a business, right? That is the mindset I have. I take trading as a business. So I understand that there's always going to be ups and downs in business. So how do I manage the downs? How do I manage the up as a trader? So don't just think the market is there for you to make money. As a matter of fact, the market is there to take money from you because the banks also need money as much as you need money as an individual trader. So the market is not made for you to rack in millions and billions of dollars. The market is made to take money from you, especially by those who we think are there to help us. Who do we think are there to help us? The brokers. They are there to make money as well. If they are an intermediary, they opened a brokerage firm because they need money, right? So how do they make money? By leveraging on the ignorances of traders. So if you are not informed enough, you will fall into that kind of experience as well, knowing that the brokerage firm you think are there to let you make money are there to take away money from you. And this is the basic understanding that everyone should have in the market. Which means since your brokerage firm are treating this as a business, you as a trader should take trading as a business, right? They provide you with the best leverage. What do you think is that for? What do you think that is for? Is to take money from you. So you need to understand that when you are feeding yourself with information, feed yourself with the right information. I've been trading for a quite number of years right now. So I know what I've gone through, the mental struggles, the unrealistic expectation I had, when I was getting to the edge of profitability. When I get to this amount of money, I will make so much of money in that. So, but for me, I'm always a calculative trader. In someone who know how to maintain his money, know how to hold on to his money for a long period of time. I don't spend extravagantly. I don't expose myself to unnecessary risk. And I'm able that if I'm putting my money somewhere, there has to be a return on investment. If I want to put my money in a business, I have to plan for a return on investment. So if I'm planning for a return on investment, I have to plan on things I can't, um, I am not in control of, right? If let's say something like logistics, I have to plan for that. Something like a cost of running a business, I have to plan for that. So the same thing is applicable to trading. When I am trading, I plan for a lot of things. I plan for the downs. I plan for the ups as well. So being a trader, it's not just taking profit from the market. Also plan for the time that trade will not go in your direction. Plan for the time that things will not move the way you want them to move. At the end of the day, you still have the right mindset towards trading. A lot of times people want to trade to make money, and when they get into the trading space, even though they had the mindset to make money, first month they don't make money, second month they don't make. In fact, they lose more to the market, and because they lose more, they give up and say, oh, trading is a scam, trading doesn't work. Trading is some people will relate trading to gambling or betting, which is different. You can't say trading is betting. Of course, you have to think if market is going to go up or down, but there are so many things that guides that guides trading, which is your concept that you trade with. Calculated risk, number one. You have to understand that there's risk in the market. And when you are taking significant positions, they have to be calculated. And um, why do you think prop firm is actually booming right now? It's a booming industry in trading because they understand they have to leverage on the ignorance of traders. If you don't have the experience, then they have to leverage. They make more money from you because they know at the end of the day, even if you get to pass your prop with luck, phase one, phase two with luck, you won't get to face out payout period. You won't get payout. So that is because you have little knowledge about the concept of trading generally. So for me, while trading, I have at the back of your mind that it's not going to be rosy all day. So I put my money into trading with a mindset of hitting a certain goal. Once that is done, I take my money out and put the money somewhere else, which is going to yield me, passive income. So as a trader, if you look at what you've written down in 2023, by this time 2023, you look at yourself and say, oh, by 2024, I want to have this, I want to have this, I want to have this. A lot of you go as well as saying, oh, by 2024 or by 2024, as at 2023, you are telling yourself who is coming into 2024. At the end of 2024, I want to have two luxurious houses. I want to have Lamborghini. I want to have Bentley. I want to have this unrealistic expectation. At the end of the day, you're having about $100 in your account at that point of talking. I am not saying, manifesting into your life is bad, but be realistic. Be realistic with yourself. You have $100 at the back of your wallet, and you're saying you want to end 2024 with a $1 million goals. Yes, it is possible, but it sounds like you have to be realistic. For me personally, I don't have that goals. What I have is okay, I have to meet this target, funding target. I have to have this so. I have to improve this level. So those are the targets I have for my span. By the grace of God, I was able to at least get about 90% of that target. Because I know that trading for me, it's not a sprint, right? It is a journey for me, it is a process for me, which I have to evaluate my previous years of work to my current years of work. So I have to look at the phase I am. Okay, I've grown into this phase as a trader. So the next time I see myself being better than I was last year. So that was my expectation. I wasn't expecting too much. I just have to grow. That is one thing I know. I just need to grow. And that was what I worked towards to this year. I just had to improve myself better and become a better version of myself. Also, I talk about consistency in trading. A lot of people mean what do you mean by consistency? You can consistently keep doing what will not yield result. A lot of traders will wake up in the morning, get to the market, look at the market, take trades, take losses. The next day they come to the market, they take profits, and they do that. They make profit today, they make losses tomorrow. They make profit today, they make losses tomorrow. At the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So they consistently do the same thing over and over again without self-evaluation. If you go back to previous talks I've had in this channel, I've talked about self-evaluation, which is very, very important. So I believe by now, Mr. John should have settled down and should be able to give in more insight as well because they are the guests and I have to allow them to speak before I take over as well. So, Mr. John, please can you take over from here?
Yes, yes, you did very, very well, brother. You gave a lot of insights into the fundamental principles every trader needs to understand to be able to get through the phases, And when it talks about forex trading, there's some principles we need to understand here. We are not trying to get rich quick. That is one of the idea most of us carried from the beginning. This is kind of like, I would say, impossible. Because if you're coming with that mindset to forex trading, this is like the worst place you should be in. I'm very, very sorry to inform you that you were misinformed. And this is a bigger school, even bigger than what you were doing in the university or what you're currently doing in the university or what you're aiming to do in the university. Forex trading is an academy that lasts a very, very, very long time. There is no class, there is no official teacher. you learn from your experience. If you don't want to learn from your experience, you will keep losing money, which is your school fees. So I need you to have this concept in your head while we digest into other factors that could also improve you in forex trading. As our brother mentioned earlier, he gave insight into consistency, another aspect of trading, which I would leave that to him in the future, and also give you insights to things you can actually acquire while you're struggling in the process of becoming rich in trading, and aspects of trading you can look into to also make money outside just trading for yourself. So when I started trading newly, I was having this struggle because got introduced into trading because we wanted to make money. So we all have that insight in our head, and that um, is very difficult to take that idea off. And I in my own situation, I was currently struggling with a particular event which I had to pay off a certain debt I was in. So I kind of like had two agendas while I was trading. One, to make money and pay off my debts, and secondly, to make money and become rich. So it was kind of difficult for me, and the struggles were way higher than an average trader who wanted to just make money for his future. So I met so many friends along the way who gave me beautiful, beautiful ideas, even to the point I'm in right now. And they gave me insights to how I could utilize other options and also advance my own gifts, and also learn further to make this talent something expanded. Don't be confused. Nobody is born with the talent of being a good trader. It's something you acquire. This is one of the talents you can acquire along the way. So if you are someone who you have viewed forex trading and you see you're very good at it, my brother, you have an opportunity to advance your talents to a level which could be unreachable, some may say, because you have enough time to advance yourself and also do it at your own convenience. This is not the educational system where you have to, because you have an exam to write or you have a test to meet up with. Forex trading is an agenda that could help you stabilize your life in multiple ways: academically, intellectually, physically, technically, multiple ways. So, one of the key attributes I acquired from trading was trying to balance my financial life and my level of value. Now, most of us come from an African background, which our parents don't really find forest trading as a career worth striving into. That was something I also had to face, and I had to fix that up quickly, or I would be having a problem in the future trying to push up with my careers and trying to focus on trading full time. So if you are in this present situation as well, trying to balance the perception of your parents over trading, so you can have that time to trade for yourself. And I'm here to let you know that there are multiple ways you can show them that trading is something you can actually make beautiful, beautiful history from, and also advance your family's agenda as well. Because at the end of the day, we are all looking for the same thing, which is money. We are all trying to make money. And in the process of making money, we are trying to gain an experience from life that we can never forget. So we need money basically to experience life due to the level of taxing our countries, nations, and respective regions have placed on us. Forex trading brings this sense of independency and freedom that would be achieved, which I can tell you is greatly achievable. But this requires a lot of effort, time, and progress for you to be able to get to that level of freedom which you might be admiring. So, Forex trading for me has been an experience of liberation, experience of growth, knowledge, and so many other efforts. And I want you guys to also look at the technical aspect of trading as not just something that could teach you how to understand the charts or understand the levels of which the banks operate, but also something that could help you fix up a statistical data for your own life as well. This was something that I was able to elevate my mindset when it comes to trading. How do you do this? Now, you should understand that in technical analysis is all about logic. Okay, if you've not been doing it in the aspect of logic, you have been doing something wrong. And I want you to actually try and focus more on trying to make it more logical. As a forex trader, as a stock investor in Wall Street. The only difference is that your Wall Street is your wallet, your portfolio, your account, your equity. And you should be able to place yourself in a position where you care a lot about your own equity, same way an investor in the United States would care about the investors' fund on Wall Street. You have to elevate your mentality to start thinking that way so you can get to that level of freedom from your struggles. See yourself as someone who has the responsibility of an entire company, the future of an entire company. If you're going to take any single trade, take it because you know what you're doing, not depending on fate, depending on someone else's signal, depending on someone else's idea. The only reason you should be looking at somebody's what Brainiac also share charts on his channel, those are not something you should be dependent on to gain insights to the market. Those are correlations tools you use for correlation, tools you can use to confirm your own analysis. If you're new, if you're someone who happens to not know how to use technical analysis, then you should see this as a means for you to learn. You see someone ahead of you who has experience that shares his ideas as well, just like you use those ideas to craft something for yourself, an understanding, so you can elevate yourself. If I was in my early stage trying to gain ideas and focus on just looking at people's charts frequently without trying to improve my own self, I won't be the one speaking to you here today. And this is something you can be in the next 4 years because I've been here for the past 4 years. My level of understanding, not just to the physical aspect of Forex trading, but also to the financial levels of the metrics, understanding of how this whole thing we call reality works, because trading gives you that insight. There's a reason why the man who invented Elliott Wave has a status in the US. You can check it out. There's a reason why these people are important to the United States and also to many aspects of the world, because their teachings, their concepts, their patterns are able to identify with the nature of life. It's something you can use to craft at anything. Currently, I'm running an ecosystem for myself, a financial ecosystem, which involves multiple individuals over 100 plus. I'm not running it under capitalism, so I don't pay them. I run it under a social system, which they themselves make money for themselves. And we all share a similar product, which we all own a part of. All these were done with the understanding of what I got from forex trading. I studied statistics in the university, but I can guarantee you my entire insight standing in the market at this early age was not what I got from the university, but basically the study time I spent for myself, understanding the markets with my own experience. So I want you guys to also look at this as an opportunity. There are 7 billion people in the world right now. Not up to 1% is currently aware of this you're currently doing right now. They don't see a future in it. They don't see a possibility in it. I want you to be aware of this advantage you have. Don't focus on trying to make money. I don't know each and every one of you here, but I'm 100% sure we could mention names every person in this event could be able to resonate with. Names on the internet, people who have done things for the music industry, people who have done things for the entertainment industry as a whole, people who have done things even for forest industry. You have that opportunity to do this. Hello, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I had the network. Okay. So you need to take this as an opportunity to elevate your own personality as well. There are multiple heights you can reach, multiple levels of gain you can achieve from the knowledge you get from forex trading. For example, let me give you an insight on how forex trading can improve your business. Let's say you're into drop shipping and stuff like that. From forex trading, you understand the concept of risk management. You understand the concept of trading plan. Now ask yourself, do you have a job shaping plan related to how you have a trade risk management plan? If you don't, have you tried making something out like that and see if it doesn't work? Okay, let's say it's not just drop shipping. Let's say you're from Nigeria and you have an average um retail POS shop. And every single day you visit your shops trying to gain something daily. Have you tried to craft out a trading plan related to something like what you have on your business that you could focus on trying to elevate your business as well, accumulating equity, same way you accumulate money from the Forex market? It's something you can do easily. Again, we are moving into a system of technology right now. Artificial intelligence and many other things are developing. And on these developments, the current industry in the front line is Forex trading, because we are the only industry which is completely digital, can go completely digital. Even if you have an online store where you sell stuff, you still have to have an offline store where you present those stuffs, right? In trading, you can have an online store where you present your programs, which you generated through the knowledge of Forex trading, without even having to have any license or physical regulations, because you don't need a physical store. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Snoop Dogg is a public figure in the music industry. How did he get to that space? By dedicating multiple years of hard work into the music industry to elevate the entity we understand as Snoop Dogg, not his personality. But this is a different job from what he did as a musician. You understand me? So this is something you, as a creative individual looking forward to creating a future for yourself, can also explore under Forex trading. These are all aspects of experience. These are all aspects of trading that you can dive into to elevate your struggles as well. Because struggles is something that we face. It's not a matter of choice. If you're a man on earth, you're going to face struggles. If you don't understand that, you're still a young boy. But along the way, you will get to understand that struggles are something that you cannot divert from. It's the experience of earth. You understand? It's the experience. The joy of being alive is waking up to have a struggle to face, something you can conquer, and have that honor to say, yes, I was able to achieve this for the day. That's the whole idea of being alive. If you have nothing to live for, there's no reason for you to live at all. But at the same time, we are all facing a similar problem with what we have as the regulations and the tax rates of our different countries, which keeps us away from our dreams. You know, when you look at the responsibilities you have to face in your personal struggles, you try to look for a way out because it's not easy. Most of us currently in the Forex industry are within our 40s, below our 40s. And this is something that we should understand that it's not a physical aspect anymore. We are all connecting from different countries to share a similar agenda. So you should understand that it's something that resonates above just this physical level, that is heading somewhere, irrespective of our individual struggles. Now, where you come in individually is where you place yourself with your hard work. I'm speaking to those now who are already engaged in one of our platforms like sharing ideas from their acts, because I see trading as art, sharing ideas from their programming, their knowledge, their powerful tools like creating indicators and selling them online, creating files, stuff like that, elevating the industry in one or two ways. Those are the guys I'm speaking to right now about the concepts. And for you who is a new trader, who hasn't have that much experience to understanding what I'm trying to say, I want you to understand something. You are currently in a, let me describe it as a war front. You don't have anybody coming to save you. You're going to lose money if you become too flexible. You're going to pay the wrong people if you depend on someone else's experience. And you're going to waste a lot of time if you do not kick into educational content, if you do not start to learn things you're not aware of, if you do not focus on trying to give 1% of your time to not just trying to trade for money, but also trade for the experience. Because one way or the other, you're going to get to do this anyway if you want to succeed. I'm telling you, it's painful when you see people come and then go before even having that luxury life they dreamed of. Many of us are already very, very familiar with the effects and power of AI and Web3 development in the Forex and crypto space right now. Do you know how powerful you are being able to understand how those things work in a world where they haven't really experienced it yet? You can create things that can keep you in a position where you can't be touched, you can't be forced to do anything you want. You can make money in multiple ways. So why not explore those opportunities? Why look at the struggles of how to make $100 from your $50 account when you can try to focus more on making something reasonable for yourself? Now, I talked about my experience in this year's trading in general. I decided to take a step back because I'm someone who also have experience in numerology and most of these courses that we don't find in our universities. So I took a time to understand the effect of this year and also how it's going to affect the financial market. And there's something I want you guys to understand today, that every single aspect of forex trading is based off numerology. You have the price numbers over there, you have the price figures of the opening and the closing of the market. You have individual candles on individual time frames. So you have to understand that everything that operates on this level is based on frequency. I don't care if you don't believe in frequencies or not, but you have to understand that it's not a matter of your own personal experience or feelings anymore. This is what operates the market. And if you don't understand this yet, then you're not experienced enough to understand it. But don't worry, you will get to that point. So you need to understand your own aspect of numerology and things like this, so you can be able to understand the markets more. There are 4 quarters in a year. 4 quarters in a year. So whenever you want to trade, luckily we are currently at the ending of 2024. There's nothing much we can do anymore. That's why we're having events like this to set us right for next year. Put yourself in a position where you can divide these 4 quarters into 4 quarters of your own personal life. Let the first quarter of the year be understanding, where you want to understand the surrounding information about the market. Understand your equity, what you're willing to risk for the market, what you're willing to risk to develop yourself, how much you will push yourself before you have to say, you know what, I think I will take a next step into a different aspect for the next quarter. Draw a map around the first quarter, which would be setting yourself up. I'm telling you, each year goes by, we all get a minus on our age. So you should understand that you don't have much time. You either start this next year or you start it the year after, or you're going to eventually start it at some point. So you have to look into what I'm saying, okay? Listening to a podcast once we start tapping into the levels of growth we can acquire from this stage. If we all focus on trying to improve ourselves individually, we would channel our energy into elevating this industry. And when one person succeeds, everybody succeeds. That's one thing you guys have to understand. I'm here to support my brother Brainiac to elevate his platform, which indirectly also elevates me. You don't have to be greedy. Trading is an industry that brings a lot of downsides as well, because it brings you battle you might not be able to face at the right time, because you might be going through some physical aspects and physical checks, and you might not be able to understand the mental stress you're going through in trading at the moment, which might lead to you thinking you want to give up. But you should understand that there's a reason why we have communities and groups. Utilize those kind of things. Don't tell yourself you don't want to follow this person because you don't like the person. If they have something valuable that can help you grow, look into what they have. Elevate yourself so you can be also higher in this particular industry. Many of us, I don't know what we might be admiring for the future, but I know every single one of us wants money. Money is not what we think it is. It's frequency. If you become attractive, you gain money either way, whether you stress for it or you don't stress for it. But you have to first be attractive. People have to know you're worth having money before the Lord will bless you. That's how basically every law works. You don't get money before you become valuable. That's how you know the money doesn't last. Do you understand? So you don't get money before you become valuable. You become valuable, then you acquire money. You become valuable to the world, then you acquire money. That's how you know you're going to be there for the long run.
Okay. I still have questions to ask you, but then I will allow her to go on with this now. Please stay with us for a while, because I personally do have questions to ask to ask you guys, so that at least you shed more light into these questions as someone who has experience in the market and has gone through one or two things in the market. In fact, what most of the things you've said, I've written them down, and I think they are things that it's not just what you come across every time on spaces like this, on podcasts like this. What people talk the most is I made this profit, I made this profit. There are so many insights in which I think I've learned as a person and as a trader as well from everything you've actually done. A lot of times I see that people actually come into space just to tell people I'm better than you, I'm better than you are, not actually improving their life. There's a difference between you making money from trading and improving your life. You're having an impact not just on yourself, but around with people around you. You don't just want to make money in the market, you want to have an imprint that people could say this person is a trader. Okay, so I think we're waiting for her to at least give us an introduction. She messaged me that the network is messing her up, and we have a lot of questions to ask. And I believe at the end of these sessions, people will gain a thing or two, just like I have at the moment. I still know there's so many things that I can still gain from Mr. John. I don't like to miss any of your sessions. Whenever you're having a space or you're having anything like this, I don't like to miss them because I know you're always giving a valuable lessons, a valuable talk, and that is why we have in your space right now. Thank you very much. I think waiting for Hart right now. Okay, Hart is here with us. Hart, are you here with us?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Hart.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. I'm going to introduce myself.
Yes, you can. Great.
Okay. Actually, my name is Art, the trader, and I am a forex trader. And I I want to thank Mr. Brainiac for organizing this type of talk show. Thanks for inviting me to as well.
Okay. Thanks for being part of it. I think the floor is yours right now. Because Mr. John has been on the space for about 30 minutes now. He has given us a lot of insight. I want you as well to contribute to, the experience as a trader and the struggles you've gone through as a trader. No, we don't want to, we know that there are positive side of trading. We want to know what it feels to go through, struggles as a trader before you get to that level of, okay, now I understand. You understand that when you say you understand means you have a focus of what trading entails. But what we are interested in is being a trader, getting to that phase before you understand what is your experience, what are your struggles as well.
All right. Thank you once again. And so I don't really want to waste much time, so I'll make it as short and brief. But I would like to first start from how I got introduced to forex trading, because the whole idea I had then was that it's the easiest way to make money. Yeah, and which is true. Actually, it is true, but at the same time, it is not the way we see it out there. So I'm going to say this, that I don't really know, but I'm sure that a lot, and I mean large percentage of people got introduced into this market because they have this ideology that once they start trading, they start making money. So they just see it as a place, as an industry where you can just come and just make money easily like that. But without understanding that, just like I was here when Mr. JFX, when JFX was talking, saying that forex trading is like a school, much more bigger than even the normal school we go to. Because most time when we go to our normal school, there we go there, we study, we pass the exam, we get result to get job. But in forex trading, it's not like that. You don't have to write exam. There is nobody that will tell you do this, do that. Even though when you have mentor, at the end of the day, most of the work is still from you. I mean, you still have to work on yourself. right? So yeah, the idea I had when coming into this forex was that I can easily make money, but when I came, it was a whole total different thing. So one thing I'm just going to say is that I have, seriously speaking, I have learned a lot from Pro Trade. I mean, Brainiac FX. For those that know me, I talk about him a lot because he has the experience. Yeah, and I am not somebody that I tend to focus on. I tend to focus on lifestyle when I want to learn from someone. Yeah. So, and I was even talking with someone day before yesterday, and telling this person about Pro Trade because one thing is that I had the belief, right? I had the trust when I came across his channel. I had this belief and I had this trust that this is how I want to trade, right? This is what I want to be trading like. And even without the whole lifestyle thing, I follow it up and I was able to gain from it. I was able to gain from him. But most time when people come into the industry now, if they don't see lifestyle, they don't believe in it. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but one thing is that just like what JFX say, focus more on the educational aspect, right? Focus more on the educational aspect because that is what will get you there. You need to learn how to trade. You need to know how to trade before you can make money. The best way to make money in the industry is to trade for yourself by yourself, right? That is just the best way to make money. When you know what you are doing, you can trade and make money from it. And after this whole struggle, one thing I can say is that last year, 2023, I get to discover the issue here is that I need to work on and hedge. And hedge is something that people don't really understand. Will I say not really understand, or probably they underestimate the importance of having an hedge. It is not really about a strategy. No, no, no. I've said it. I used to say it. An hedge is not really about strategy. Edge in everything, everything. Edge in money management, edge in risk management, edge in your mental, I mean, even your mental state when you want to trade, right? Like, for instance, having an edge that if I am not on my screen, I am not trading, right? It's something is like a rule you make for yourself that, okay, some people, maybe they are walking on the road, something like that, they are not settled, they are not at that right state of mind for them to trade, and they have this hedge that, okay, until I am back on my screen, until I am settled, that is when I trade. And that is why it's good to have like a routine, putting the time you want to trade, something like that. So an hedge in everything you do, everything that has to do with trading, hedge in time you trade, having an hedge in when you should trade, why you should trade, when you should not trade, how you should trade, everything about trading. So uh just have it. I just want you to know that trading is not a playground. It's not where you just come and you just play around and go. If you really want to be successful in this business, you have to take it serious. You have to take it serious. So now I'm just going to talk about the edge I want to talk about, because that is what really, let's say, that's what really made me what I am today. Edge in everything, everything, not even technical. No, not at all. Everything you do, how you approach the market, when you approach the market, and why you should approach it. So, because these are the things you will put together to make up something. A lot of people, their problem might not even be technical. I can remember something that Brainiac said, I think late 2022. He said, there is no way you will come to your chart every single day, every single time for a long period of time. Let me say for like 6 months, for like 1 year. Learning technical analysis is not even the problem there, because you can learn technical within 6 months and 1 year, right? You should know that technical analysis is not really what will make you profitable. A lot of people know technical analysis, but still on they are struggling with it. So there's no way you come to your chart every day, every time, and all of those things, and you will not even know what's a break of structure, what's a this, what you know it, right? You know these things, but when I see some DMs, people will come and say, I don't place trade. When I see trade, I don't take it. I don't do this. I don't do that. And at the end of the day, everything all come drive down to your hedge, right? Your hedge. It can be a simple rule, as simple as don't how will I put it? Like, don't close your trade except you take partial or something. Like, I could remember when I made a rule for myself. Like, it's a rule for myself that no matter what, I don't close my trade except it hits break even, it hits stop loss, or it hits TP, and then I take partial. Something like that. Like, I don't close my trade manually because I find it difficult to hold trade. So I tend to like close on time. So those are rules I lay for myself. Because let me tell you the truth, if you want to be successful in this business, you need rules. You need rules. And it is very difficult for us to create that rules and follow it, because there is no one that will punish you if you break the rule. So that is why forex trading is difficult. That after this whole thing, I realized that this thing is difficult because when we create that rule, if you don't follow it, there is no one to ask you why. There is no one to punish you. It is just you on your own in your room creating rule by yourself and still breaking it by yourself without no one asking you or punishing you or telling you to pay a fine. So that is why this thing is very, very difficult. So you just have to learn how to, how will I put it, create that rule and then follow it. If you can just, if you can just create a simple rule like risking 0.5% per trade no matter what, and you try to follow it. When you fail at that side, let me say you at the end of the day you risk that 0.5% per trade, and then you blow up that profit account or you blow up that account, and you check your rule, you saw that yes, I risk 0.5% per trade and I still blow up this account, then you know that the problem is not from what is not now from risk management, maybe it's from something else, then you tackle it. That is how I get to do this thing, because there was a video I dropped then explaining everything I did step by step. Another thing from there, it's just like a child going to school from kindergarten to from baby class to basic one, something like that till you get to secondary school, and then that is how you see this thing. You approach it step by step. First thing, you choose a strategy first, you try it out, you test it out, then from there you move to something else, from there you move to something else, and step by step you get to where you want to be. There is nobody that start forex trading in a week, in a month, I can even say in a year. I mean, except maybe the story is different. We can't really compare this whole thing. You can't compare your journey to I don't you can't really compare this thing, but I can say that forex trading, people start a week, in a month. I don't think you can be profitable then, because this thing is something that takes step by step. And then, even me myself, I will say this, that even me myself, I am not yet where I really, really want to be, but definitely I am not where I was last year or even 2 years ago. And then that is the process I'm talking about. Like this year, I learned something different, and next year I know what else to do. I had a plan already on what else to do to move me one step ahead to my goal. So I want you to treat trading as a business. Find your hedge in everything, and try to stick to it. That is one secret I was able. That is one thing I discover, and then I did it, and it worked for me. And I pray that everything you wished for, or the reason why you joined forex trading, will actually work out for you. Thank you very much, ProTradeFX.
Oh, thank you very much, Art. It's a brilliant insight, and I also learned from it. Speaking about what you said, which I take note of, you said knowledge over lifestyle. You know, I have actually been saying this a long period of time ago. I've said this, and I want Mr. John to actually add to that. When we talk about knowledge over lifestyle, Mr. John is the only channel, one of the few channel that I think has the same mentality as I have, which is put out the knowledge than uh the lifestyle, which means he hardly posts profit this week, the money you had made last week. And what I see from that, this type of channel, we have a slow growth. We have a slow growth, which means people don't really appreciate that type of channel. They just want the lifestyle to show to match up with the knowledge. They want people to show them, okay, I made a withdrawal of $10,000, I made a withdrawal of $50,000, I made a withdrawal of that. I learned fundamental from someone you people did not even know. I learned my fundamental. Then I was using COT, which is known as commitment of traders. I can't even see it anywhere on Twitter anymore. We use COT, we use a lot of macro data. We look at a lot of news, not even your my FX book news that you guys look at. Those are microeconomics. When I learned about macroeconomics, when I learned about the major news events, I learned from someone who is not even well known on Twitter, who is not well known on Instagram. He's on Instagram, but not well known. He's a very reputable trader. He made a lot of money, but he's not even putting the lifestyle and the money he makes. But right now, I see that what people put right are interested in right now is a lifestyle. They don't care about the knowledge, even though you teach them basic things. I see basic things out there right now because of the lifestyle people glorify. They are basics. Break of structure, change of character are basics. But now, because the traders showing you those things, show you the lifestyle attached with it. You think it's extraordinary. They make it so complex, and that is what I think I noticed in today's space, or in today's social platform, where people show more of the lifestyle than the knowledge. I think Mr. John will add something to that as well. And another thing she has said is she has planned for 2025 already. Means that she already knows what she wants. She had a plan last year. She worked towards that plan for this year, and now she has figured out what she wants, what her mistakes are, and now she has a plan for the coming year. If I may ask you, do you have a plan yet? Do you, as a trader, even figure whatever is going on with you right now? Do you have it figured out yet? If you can't figure it out, then are you going to have a plan for next year? This is the difference between a trader who knows what they want. She knows what she's going for next year, which means she already have it all planned for next year. So it's not about let's see what happens next year. Some people would say when we get to the river, we are going to cross. No, before you get to the river, are you with your ladder to cross? Before you get to the river, have you make out the equipment and tools that will aid you to cross the river? You have to plan before you get to that river, or when you get to the bridge, you will cross. You have to make sure the bridge is intact. So I believe Mr. John we had to that, because I do have 5 questions to have both of my guests right now. Once Mr. John is done speaking, Mr. John, take the floor, please.
Yes, I don't know if I'm still audible. I had a network interference when I was enjoying your conversation, but I
Yeah,
think
you are
it's
audible,
clear
please.
now. Yes. So, um, first of all, I want to give her flowers to her for her very, very insightful conversation. I was very, very impressed, and I was very, very happy to find a lady finally on a space having an interesting, educative conversation. You know, the last lady I worked with was someone who also was into educational content, but slowly drifted into the aspect of sharing more of the lifestyle, and I find it as kind of like a disease that we forest traders have to grow above. You know, we have to grow above trying to prove ourselves to people. We have to try and grow above trying to make ourselves recognizable. Rather, we should try and make ourselves more valuable. Like how you make mention of how we have slow growth on our platforms, we that share educational content. This is very true. This is very true because currently the world is in a stage where they all vibrate based on pleasure and based on uh, uh, entertainment. So people don't really want to learn. They really just want to be entertained and have the pleasure of seeing things like that, flashy things, let's say. And we don't have to let these distractions distract us from our goal. There's this saying this said that said to me, he said, if someone betrays a movement and the movement goes sideways, then Christianity should have not survived how long it survived today. Because we had Judas betray Jesus, right? but the Christianity fall. No, Christianity is still existing today. Rather, Judas was the one who went to the dust. So we should understand this part of this whole race and should try and rise above this stage of trying to prove ourselves to the public. They will come around. That's something I'm 100% sure about. They will come around. But I also see the exposure as a slow decrease in power. Basically, what am I trying to say? We that are still in this enclosed space where the world doesn't know us yet, especially those Forex traders who are not yet in our platform, we should understand that we still have an opportunity to improve. We still have an opportunity to change our structures. Once a child is born, you do not have the choice of changing your gender again. If you like, go and turn into transformer. It's on you, but you can't change your origin anymore. So when a star goes supernova, there's no redemption anymore. It has happened. When Brainiac goes viral, then the world knows you as Brainiac. I don't think you can easily change your name anymore. But in a stage where you still have a lot of exposure to acquire in the future, you should understand that you still have opportunities to evolve. God is just trying to let us know that we who are on the aspect of truth still have room to evolve. So while you focus your next year goal on trying to achieve new heights, don't let the distractions of engagement, distractions of promotion, distractions of people who want to lure people into an illusion so they can tax them for maybe signals or things like that. Don't let them distract you. I focused this year on trying to make JForex as a digital platform, and that I achieved so greatly that I never even knew I could even do things like that. And if I had slowly along the way, 2, 3 months into my progress, focused on the level of distractions and discouragement I had, I'm telling you, I would have regretted it at the end of the day. So I want you all to understand this right now, that whatever you might be engaged in, be it trading or something else, you are definitely going to find yourself at that point where you find people not giving you attention. Don't think um, you are going down. You are still a seed planted in the ground. Root yourself. Root yourself. Make your origins more valuable. Make people recognize your concepts and your ideas. Make yourself bigger. Look at it as an advantage over those who have been exposed. You haven't gone supernova yet. Be happy. You still have an opportunity to keep shining. You still have more space to create more history. I'm telling you, when I start seeing people joining my platforms too fast, like last year, I elevated from 3,000 subscribers to 5,000 subscribers. Over 2,000 people joined. I was shocked. I was worried because what I wanted to achieve by creating JForex House was creating a house where every trader felt comfortable finding one or two contents to feed them intellectually. And deep down in me, I knew I have not yet achieved this level of progress. Yet I was having this level of exposure. I was worried because I knew that at some point it will start climbing above my psychology, which would feed my ego to think that I'm now a star. I'm now viral. Guess what? I have been on 5,100 subscribers throughout this year. And I'm very happy because now, you see, there's a reason why when they build a house, they cover it. They cover it around, they fence it around, so people don't see the foundational progress of it. So nobody can draw your plan. Nobody can mimic what you're doing till you get to a stage where it can't be hidden anymore. The house grows above the fence. And even when you pass, you see the project so beautiful. That is how everything works in life. So, in as much as you're trying to get your products to the world, you should also understand that at that point where the world doesn't know you yet is when you are at your prime, not when the world knows you best. That is a slow erosion of your power. That is when you know that you have gone supernova. After this, Snoop Dogg cannot change his identity anymore. Neither can any of those musicians, down to Burna Boy, Thames, they are all viral. But I'm telling you, if you go into studying the history of Burna Boy, you will find out that that wasn't the first choice in the aspect of names he picked when he came into the industry. So most of us who share educational content and who are trying to create a history for ourselves in the forex space should also try and understand we are currently in our prime, which is why we don't have much exposure yet. We can use this opportunity to build further and grow. I just hope I've given a lot of insights on that aspect, and I will let my brother, throw in more questions and ideas so we can further the discussions. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much for that. I believe a lot of people have actually learned from that, which means that while you are learning as well, don't be focused on growing and like getting more followers, which means a lot of people you are learning, and the first thing you did is open a Telegram channel and you start to pour content that you don't even know, you don't have a depth understanding, you are not yet grown in that concept. You start to put it out. You want to show people that you know what you are doing, whereas you are struggling. So you need to get yourself together first. You need to grow as a person instead of trying to impress others, instead of looking for followers, instead of trying to grow a channel, which you are here to get a details or a deep understanding of what exactly you are doing. So with that being said, I would like to ask about 5 questions from Mr. J and Art if she's actually available. My first question is, what motivated you to start trading and how has that motivation evolved over time? If I will go again, what motivated you to start trading and how has that motivation evolved over time?
Beautiful question, brother. Please, I don't know if my background noise is currently interfering with the conversation. Just ignore it for me, please. Regarding the question, basically, authenticity of self is a progress we go into as we grow. Trying to know yourself better, basically, that's what I meant, is something we get into as we grow. Each and every one of us have a soul. We have a soul purpose as well. So, right from my childhood, I've always been someone who has this level of understanding that whatever I strive to explain, I can better understand it. So, I had gifts that I wanted to, you know, always be in front of things. So, until remember, I said earlier in the conversation that when I came into trading, I didn't come mainly to make money. I had a little problem so that I was okay So I had two motives of coming into trading. I didn't know that I was being directed by my sole purpose to an even bigger situation. So when I came into trading, it was basically my self leading me into a new path because I'm someone who is deeply rooted in African cultures and stuff like that. So I have some concepts which I follow, principles which I live by, which I try to guide myself and elevate my mentality as well. So when I got to understand trading, I said, okay, this was not solving any of my problem. Instead, it was taking money from me. So I'm going to leave. Then slowly I found myself finding situations that were solving my problem for me, even without making money from trading. So when I started seeing progress, even without trading, just because I wanted to leave, then I saw it as a sign that, you know what, I think there's something for me in this trading which God doesn't want me to leave yet. So I decided to give it my best, which was when I went beast mode and decided to create something out of trading. Market was here before me, and the market will be here after me. So it's better to leave a trace in the industry that you know that will continue and carry on your legacy. So I'm here to make a name for myself while I make money and enjoy my youthful age.
Okay, thank you very much. I will go with the second question because I want to make that as fast as possible. Um, if I could ask this question, how has trading shaped your view of money and financial freedom?
Okay, so this is another good question too. I love the fact we are doing something like this because I thought money was having assets or what I thought was assets as well were actually liabilities. So I thought money was acquiring cars, having a house, not having a limitation to the numbers of women you can be with, you know. Slowly for me to find out that money was actually a frequency. That's why it's called currency. So when you say currency, water flows by currency, you know. And I've always been a questionnaire. I always ask questions right from my childhood. I always ask questions. So I always wanted to know reasons to things. Like when I came to awareness, when I basically got aware of what I was doing, I asked my mom, why do we have to buy things? Why don't you just exchange it for something else? Like, why do you have to use this thing they call money, that is the paper with the person's face on it? And what did that person do to get his face on that money? Questions like that. How do I get my own face on the money as well? So my mom was like, you're asking questions that could get somebody in trouble. But anyway, she explained to her own knowledge, which I tried to advance and understand much better about money. Then growing up, when I got introduced into Forex, I started discovering that we had no difference from water. There is a reason why the water is called the mother of earth, because basically we are surrounded by 75% water. So we are not living on a rocky planet. We are actually living on a water planet that has a rocky aspect, about 15% of it. So you should understand that when they say currency, same way we have a water bank, we have a currency bank. So the money is not represented by the physical cash. It's represented by the frequency on it. That's why basically money has numbers. So you have $1, $2, $5, $100, $1,000. While I was basically understanding the physical aspect of money, money evolved into encrypted currency, which is what we now call cryptocurrency. So I dived into cryptocurrency at a very early stage, around 2014, and I got a lot of understanding into cryptocurrency as well. And then I started understanding that money was basically a representation of frequencies generated by either a country or a company. So the introduction of companies having their own currency was now why they introduced cryptocurrency. An encrypted currency is encrypted to the ledger of a particular currency, be it a country currency, which is like USDT and USD, or a company, which is like ETH or Trons. Basically, the first cryptocurrency that was discovered was Bitcoin, but the originators have a lot of mysteries and conspiracy behind them. So let's leave that for that. But basically, I'm giving you a background understanding of modern day money. I'm not talking about the history of money. I'm talking about the money that is being used as we speak. So these are all frequencies. That's why we still have Bitcoin represented in numbers. It got advanced that now we now represent money in decimal numbers. So Bitcoin can be sold in 0.0000. Back then, those were not valuable, which is where we have the cent and the kobo. But right now, those are very valuable. So you should understand that money is evolving, whether you know it or not. So I had to understand more about money in aspect of how to acquire it, because I don't think you can know what you can get what you don't know. I don't live by those principles. I believe for you to know something, for you to get something, you have to know something about it. For you to acquire money, you have to know a secret about money. So I started studying and making my own research, and I started understanding, and I knew that money was currency. So for me to become a rich person in the future, I either scam somebody and emulate that negative frequency, or I make something valuable and emulate a positive frequency. Because either way, we are all accelerating by magnitude and direction, which is why we have this on the fabrics of physics. Acceleration is based on magnitude and where you direct it into. So if you emulate a negative frequency, the level of power and attention you give into those negativity would also ripple back to you and then maybe give you wealth, but take something bigger from you. If you emulate a positive frequency, the level of time and attention you give into that, which is effort, brings back your efforts in the future. There's a reason why we have age, numbers, all these stuffs. So you should do your personal research into that and understand more about money. But basically, you can see that my perception about money shifted to a drastic level, a level beyond just what we were taught in school, a level beyond just what we have on the average internet.
Okay, I think we lost in on that. Thank you for that insight as well. I do have three more questions before we go, and I think my
Yes, sorry about
listeners
that. My
also are
network
going to have
went
personal
off here.
questions they want to ask you. The way I should have done is send these questions to you so that you prepare ahead of them. But I just want to make those questions get to you, as a surprise. At least you won't get to prepare for them and tell us who have thought about it. We just want to hear directly and raw without filter from you. And thank you for giving that to us. So there's the third question which I want to ask. A lot of time people have different perceptions into the money which you've given us, that deep experience and understanding about money. But there's this questions I want to ask you, which when it comes to trading, how do you balance ambition in trading with the patience it requires to succeed? Everybody tells you trading is not a get rich scheme, but then how do you balance that ambition in trading, your passion to trade, and the patience it will take you to succeed? Because we said it's not a get rich scheme, then we have to be patient so that we can succeed. But then there's going to be that self-doubt along the line. How do you balance, the ambition in trading with the patience it requires to succeed?
Okay, this is another very good question. Please, sorry for my sign out in the previous question. I had network interference and it turned me mute, but and I had no idea I was mute. I was even still communicating. So on the recent question we asked, um, I am someone who live by truth. So I tell people the truth. Psychologically, it's not easy. It's not something that you can do off the roof or something you can do easily by saying, you know what, I'm going to log in. I'm not going to have any distractions. I'm going to be disciplined. That's not it. First of all, you have to know yourself. Know your limitations and your strengths. Know where you thrive better. Know what you can use to control yourself. I grew up in a background where I had a lot of negative energies around me. And I grew up in a very, very, very street aspect of reality from Nigeria. So basically, it was not easy trying to understand life. And then, I got introduced into trading. So how I have been able to keep myself in check and focused on my main aim is by strengthening my connection with God. Basically, I have tried to understand more about what God wants from me. I'm not talking about the religious aspect of God. I'm talking about doing your self programming. I strive to through every day consciously trying to do good deeds, trying to learn new things, and trying to make sure that I make an impact into whatever task that comes into my way every single day positively. So these things, somehow, I cannot explain it, and some way, it comes back to me in a very positive way that keeps me going whenever I'm down. So the more it keeps coming back, the more I keep having trust in it and I keep growing in it. And I found myself in a position where I don't have to live a life for the public anymore. I don't really have friends physically. I make most of my communications with people who are like minds like me. So I do most of digital lifestyle, and I don't expose myself mostly to the toxicity of reality. I stay away from most of those things. So I found out that even the people you call friends use words that they don't even know the meaning into. Somebody might see your progress as as trying to show off and then starts to downgrade you negatively without even your conscience. And all these things are coming back to you later on as thoughts, which now starts to disturb you and give you doubts. So basically, someone who is still in my prime. If you remember what I said about prime, is a stage where you find yourself lonely. You know, you find yourself moving through the fabrics of space alone, spending more time with knowledge and trying to improve yourself. I want you to understand that this is the best time for you to strengthen your connections with God. Because only through divine interventions can you be able to scale through these things. You can't do it on your own. You can't be anybody on this planet on your own because you didn't come here on your own. I don't think anybody can remember how they got into their mother's womb and they gave birth to them. So you should understand that God has been guiding you from day one. Seek for God's intervention and He will guide you through these things. All these things we are saying here are just mere physical and mental activities, exercise you can take to strengthen yourself. But spiritually, only God can take you to the heights. And if trading is not for you, it's only God that can show you at an early stage so you can elevate yourself out of it. Because it's going to be a waste of time if it's not for you. So I have been able to stay in the game because God has basically been guiding me from the one. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I believe some people will agree to disagree with that, depending on what they believe. For me, I will put it that as a as you know, let me just put it that as you've said it. And now I will go into the philosophy and legacy part of it. Um, there are two more questions, and these questions, I feel like you will have the best answer to it, which is life beyond trading. How do you see trading fit into your life in the long term? Is it a lifetime goal or is just a stepping stone to other goals?
Okay. So basically, trading is evolving. That's something we should all come into awareness. Trading is evolving. Trading is shifting. I came into trading around 2019, and what traders are doing right now is different from what traders were doing back then. People I met that guided me in trading as people I looked up to are different from the people I see currently that people are looking up to. So it's evolving as well. And anything that evolves is alive. You understand? It's either you're dying or you're evolving. Trading is going to be here. It's been here before us and it will be here after us. And currently, we are the present youths of this time. Every single one of us have, let's say, an average of 100 years to live on this earth. Don't think about things that you can do for the long run, because by the time we break down that 100 years to how many years you have to make changes, you find out that you might have just 20 years left, 10 years left. If you want to make an impact in the world, then you want to look for an industry that is evolving, not dying. You cannot be admiring to become a worldly musician right now because you can see that world is crumbling. You cannot be admiring to become a politician in the future. It's crumbling. You cannot be admiring to become a comedian. It's crumbling. But if you're admiring to become a content creator, you should look for educational content because there's one thing that doesn't die in this world, and that's knowledge. The only thing that have existed right from the early 16th centuries, the only things you can find from the 15th centuries, 16th centuries, 13th centuries is knowledge, history. So if you want to make a history for yourself, you can't be admiring in an industry that is already dying. Statistically speaking, take it from me. The fact we are here doing something like this, having a highly valuable conversation like this, you should understand that we are evolving with the current time. Society is currently shifting. If you understand society, you should understand what I'm trying to say. The people who were adults within their 30s 10 years ago are currently shifting into a new level as we move into the half of this decade. Presently, we are going to become the future, whether the elderly ones like it or not. whether the politicians like it or not. Every evil person currently in his 60 something years is going to be leaving this world in the next 30 years. It's a fact. So you should understand that the fact we are younger and this is what we are engaged in is an evolving industry. So I'm only striving to keep myself in a position where I can be valuable, and I don't see myself living anytime soon because I have a life and taking actions in my trading career that I can see myself striving in for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and as long as the Lord wants me to be here. Thank you. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, to an extent, it does answer my question. And we have the last question, which is going to be a twin question. Before I allow my listeners to actually come on board and speak and probably ask question as well. And the last question I said, like I said, is going to be a twin question. It is, how did you handle self-doubt or imposter syndrome during your trading journey? Which is one. And what has been your proudest moment as a trader? Because I understand people want to know, is there hope in trading? Or can I actually pursue a career in trading? Can I make money off trading? So the first one is, how do you deal with self-doubt or imposter syndrome during your trading journey? Why the twin question is, what is your proudest moment as a trader?
But I'm happy that yesterday we were in a live section on X and we had a very, very high level conversation. And today we're doing another one again. So I'm very, very happy to be here. And I thank you all who have been listening so far. I just hope I have been educative enough to also give you a few insights to how you might see Forex trading. Now, in terms of self-doubt, if you do your shadow work, your self-doubt becomes a fuel. Your shadow work now goes into your responsibilities in life. Each and every one of us have our own individual responsibilities with in respect of our family, our friends, our jobs, our children, and relatives. We have a responsibility to take on. And this is kind of like one of the hardest aspects of being a human being because nobody likes responsibility. And self-doubt only comes in a mind that has guilt. So a guilty conscience basically comes in a conscience that is not free. A man with a free soul has no reason to be guilty. So if you start to look at yourself as a responsibility you owe to your physical body, which you have to start working out, or you start getting self-doubt, the responsibility you hold to your family, which you should start giving them attention, or they will give you self-doubt. The responsibility you hold to your mentality, which you should start learning things, or they will give you self-doubt in public. The responsibility you hold to yourself to understand the reason why you came here, the reason why you're in this show today, the reason why you might be with the partner you have, the reason why you might be going through the struggles you're facing. It will give you self-doubt. Personally, I'm an individual that I'm dedicated, extremely dedicated to what I believe in. I don't believe in regulations. I believe in dedication. So I don't do much of my regulations. I do them in dedication. I don't regulations in the sense that I don't go to look for people. I dedicate to what I know and I practice truth. So I'm someone who believes more in repetition because repetition is key. If you keep doing it, if you keep knocking at the door, it's annoying. And God will have no choice but to answer you. If you keep giving 1%, you will annoy God. If we can't get it peacefully, we should get it aggressively. That's what I believe in. So keep striving. There's no reason for me to doubt myself when I know I'm handling my situations, I can only have doubts when I see signs of weakness. According to Wyckoff, signs of weakness are the first step to a break of structure, not a break of structure. A break of structure is an execution of the direction of the market. So when you see a sign of weakness in the market, it's your first sign that this market is heading to a new direction. So when you approach a resistance in your life, also in the market, the first thing you should be looking for is either a sign of weakness from that resistance zone or a sign of strength. So that's how I've been able to strive through. Exercise is something that I've been a part of me from a very long time. So if you practice that, you end up practicing consistency because you need to be constant in it to see results. So that is how I've been able to keep myself in check and also handle self-doubt and stuff like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. And it's really an amazing thing to have you on board here. And the way you speak, the way you present questions as you have been asked, man, it's actually amazing to hear you speak. Thank you very much once again. I believe we have some few persons who are going to ask questions. We have about 70 minutes left on this call. And if you have questions to ask, please identify so I can allow you to speak. I'll be taking about 5% to speak or ask questions for 2 minutes each. 2 minutes each. While waiting for people to speak, I actually wanted to emphasize on what he says. If you think you have self doubt, that means you don't have a focus. So you need to have something you are looking out towards. You have to have a focus of something you want to achieve, and that let that be your driving power to eliminate self doubt. Of course, those doubts will come, like those subtle talks behind you, or with your mindset saying, can you actually achieve this? Can you get to this level? But when you have something going on for you, when you have a focus and you're doing your best to get to that level, believe yourself in that you will definitely get to that level. Humans, you have no idea what we can do. You have no idea what we can do. When it comes to workout, I work out a lot. I'm a fitness person. When I was in the university, I was a very lean person. That was about 8 years ago. I was very lean. Like if you see me, you could just use your mouth to blow hair, then I'm going to fall. Then I started my fitness level when I was in 300 level. Then I studied engineering. So I started then like a joke. I started seeing result and result and result. I started seeing my muscles expanding. I started seeing my skin tearing up, and I knew that if I could achieve this with my body, I could achieve anything with my mindset. And since then, I keep on going to fitness, and that's become a part of me as well. Anytime I have a bad trading days, a weeks, I don't let that affect my fitness journey, and because that has been a part of me, because I knew I could do anything with my body, and definitely I can do anything with my mindset. So I allow those subtle talk of me not to take over the control of my mindset. So if you have questions right now, you can actually speak. So let me allow who first. I think Godwin should be able to speak first. Godwin, you have the floor right now. Godwin, you can speak.
Hey, GM everyone.
We can
GM
hear you.
everyone, and look at okay. So I'm really glad I'm in this place now. I don't even want to talk too much. Somebody actually posted the link of this live session from our group, like another trading group, and I just decided to join and listen, and it has been really impactful. Like honestly, my own trading journey, if I would even start, I was serving in Cotonou. I don't know if you know Cotonou, Benin Republic here. So I left there after I've been in crypto space since 2021. I was introduced to it, but 2022 I had to go there based on no funds and everything to further education. I wanted to go and serve. So in 2024, I think during the rise of this whole airdrop thing, I decided that okay, I was in this trading before. I was into crypto, so why did I even stop? Why did I come here and start serving and everything? And I just gathered the courage to tell my boss that I wanted to like go back to Nigeria and do something else, that the whole business P and everything wasn't for me. So it wasn't easy though because family member everybody complained, said I'm on my own and everything. So I decided to come back to Nigeria now. So right now I just started the trading journey. It's not even as if I kept any money anywhere to do it, but I've been doing it low key, supporting myself with the airdrop. I paid for an technical analysis class and I've been learning from there. But I think the major problem I have right now, I think self doubt. When you start to worry and think about what if this thing doesn't work out, the pressure when you decided to let go of something, and I say this is the path I want to follow in life, and sometimes I'm always doubting myself, even to like put in the time, put in the work. It's not always easy. You want to watch these videos, you want to like, because I couldn't meet up with all the analysis, all the old classes we did in the technical analysis class. So I When I came back to Nigeria, I started watching the videos from the start and everything, but it hasn't been easy, and the doubt too has been setting in. So I don't know if you have any advice for me or anything I can do to help myself out.
Okay, Godwin, it's nice to have you speak. I believe at the end of these questions, Mr. John, we have an answer to your questions. But before then, I will allow Tega to speak. He has been on the stream since as well. So don't worry, stand still, Godwin. I believe your questions will be answered in a few minutes. Just before now, let me ask Tega to speak. Tega, you can speak now.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Um, Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I really want to appreciate Mr. Um, Mr. G and the host himself, Mr. Brain. Um, I'm not yet to ask questions, but I just want to appreciate what you guys did tonight or this evening because giving me clarity on what I need to do and where I'm lacking. Although I'm a technical analyst and a forex trader also, but I'm not really that a novice. And peradventure, if I have gotten to some experience, really learned a lot. And you guys have talks. And in fact, I've even jot a lot of things down that, especially the advice that comes with planning, self-development, and all of that. So I really want to appreciate you guys, and what I really want to say is thank you and God bless you very much.
Um, Thank you very much, Tega, for being part of the stream as well. We appreciate that to hear from you as well. I think there is someone who has been raising his hand since, or you can request again. Let me allow you speak. What is his name? I'm trying to look for him. He has been trying to speak, and I think Dexter. Dexter, you want to speak? You can request to speak one more time. We have three more persons to go. So we have Azan. We have Azan Ray with us. Azan, you can speak. Azan, you can speak. Are you with us, Azan? Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Actually, I really want to thank you for the beautiful opportunity which you have provided to impact people with knowledge. I just have a very quick question which I really want to ask. Please, how can somebody navigate or deal with this issue of, let's just say, somebody that usually, like for example, somebody like me, I really know how to analyze. I'll analyze and I'll just go off chat, come back later, and I'll discover that yeah, that that analysis that I did play out. Meanwhile, whenever if I deposited in my account, I usually get this kind of mindset of having like always craving to execute on trading. So I don't really know how to deal with this kind of thing. And that thing usually messed me up, having that kind of too exposure to execute whether I'm on the wrong direction or not. So I don't really know how can somebody navigate toward this. Thank you.
Okay, thanks to have you speak, Azan. I believe by now we have two questions, and I want Mr. John to answer our first questions from Godwin and the second question from Azan before we move to the next person. Dexter, you have to get ready. After these questions, you have to speak. Mr. John, are you with us? Please, can you help us answer the first questions from Godwin and this from Azan?
Okay. I think I got the first question clearly, but the second one, maybe we will repeat that later on.
Mm, okay.
About the brother that talked about self-doubt, striving from a new point or trying to get himself back together. Uh, what I would say is that your beliefs play a role in what your outcome becomes. What you believe in Do you understand? So the first step of changing whatever you have and getting to where you want to get to starts with what you believe in. So um, don't, let's say from this night, the first step to the progress where we can see change is being implemented is from now on, don't believe that you're going to face struggles anymore. Just have a mindset that you're just going through this first stage of changing your position. It's not a matter of personal effects. Anyone who changes his position from one point to the other will face challenges. So you're going to get through this, and it's no longer a problem for you anymore. You found a solution. Okay. So that is in how to get to the next step. The second thing you will do from now on is that practice more of self, is it affirmation? What's the word? Practice more of positive talk while you put in your progress. Like in your everyday now, you for you to make money, you have to analyze the market. What There's one thing I do. There's this thing also you see most celebrities do as well. They kind of like give themselves this confidence, like saying, you know what, I'm going to win this trade. If I lose my first trade today, I'm going to win the next three. That's one thing I don't miss. So when I lose the first trade, there's this confidence that just comes in like, wham, this is going to be a good day. You see, stuff like that are psychological effects. As little as they look, they have their roles in what makes you successful. So you have to practice them, especially when you find yourself in a new position, like shifting environment, because your body was in a state. So there's a reason why they are called states, countries. They are different geographical locations. So you're going to have some positive and negative effects. That's why the beginning stage of everything is difficult. So make psychological adjustments. As you sleep over it, you will see the physical changes also as well. So I want you to start with number one, the routine of letting yourself understand that it's not your fault and what you want to do right now is logical. So you're not going to believe that it's difficult for you to get through all these things and you don't know why it's hard for you. No, that's no longer the things you will have in your head. What you should have in your head is, okay, I'm in my beginning stage now. I'm trying to get through these particular struggles so you can experience something better. Secondly, each time you want to make an effect to what you have on ground, make, which is elevating your mentality by adding a little bit of positive talk or even superstitious, saying just to see an outcome positive. And if you get a negative action, well, life is trying to see how much you have faith in what you're doing. That's simply just it. If you do a positive talk and it ends up negative, life is trying to see, I think this is your positive talk, you were doubting yourself somehow. Let me see if it's true. And then when you now say, I thought calm, all these things need to work, you just doubted yourself, which proves to life that it was right. You were not ready to believe in what you were doing. So when you give yourself a positive saying, make sure you follow the outcome as a probability, same way you trade and say whatever trade comes out of it is not in your power to control. You just have to analyze and be in the direction of the market. The market will go where it wants to go. So what you're doing is not going to change the outcome of what you would have of having a positive outcome. Then how frequently you practice this? The only thing that can happen is it starts to work too good and you forget to start to keep practicing it, and then maybe you get back to this position again. That's the only thing that can happen. But if you keep practicing it, you see you change to somebody who now believes in yourself more and then feels like a positive talk is needed for you anytime you want to do something risky, which is like praying. But this one also acknowledging yourself. Something like that also can help you boost your self-esteem and your confidence in yourself too. So I do all these things and you should try them out and see how it helps you. So the second brother, please, I would like you to break down your question again, then we'll look into how we can handle that. I hope the first brother has a clearance on what he asked.
Hopefully, he has learned from that as well. But before Azan starts expanding on his questions, I want Dexter to speak. Dexter, you have the floor.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yeah, first of all, I want to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to speak. So I have just two questions, which I would really love you guys to advise me or help me out. So first of all, after learning, after practicing and backtesting and doing everything, should we trade our personal funds or we get a prop firm? Like which is more advisable? Do we trade our personal funds or we get a prop firm? And secondly, because I am 17 years old. Yeah, I'm 17 years old and I don't really have um the money to afford for mentorship, but I learn off YouTube videos and I read art threads and I follow influencers on TikTok and I learn on Twitter and I learn from them. So, but sometimes I get the feeling that I don't have a mentor, I'm not properly taught, and I don't have a teacher and stuff like that. Sometimes I get the feeling that I won't go far in this trading and the forex space because I don't have proper knowledge. But I watch YouTube videos, I learn and all of that. So do we need a mentor to prosper in the trading space? Well, lastly, can losses be can losses be avoided? After learning, after getting the right knowledge. Most people tell you that before you start making money from forex, you have to spend 2 years of loss, 2 years of frustration and stuff. But me, I don't know. I have this mindset that with proper knowledge, with proper guidance from a mentor and everything, you might spend even months then you start being profitable. You understand? Yes. So I want to ask, is it a natural occurrence that everyone must go through that process of long-term loss or non being profitable? You get, so please, I would really love you guys to help me out and address this question. Thank you.
Okay, nice to hear from you, Dexter, as well. Azan, you can clarify your questions now so that Mr. John can, of course, answer both questions at the same time very fast. We've spent almost 2 hours on these streams, and I want to call it a day already because I believe a lot of people have learned one or two things from this stream already. So, Azan, can you speak right now? Expand on your questions more.
I said, how can somebody try to navigate his ways in terms of trading management? That's all I
Okay.
want to
Okay, Mr. John, you have the floor.
add.
Okay. Okay. In terms of trading management, um, uh, you need to understand the surroundings of your financial status as well. Because what you risk should be what you can lose, not what you want to gain. What you risk should be what you can lose because it's a risk because it can go sideways. When my students ask me things like this, and then they ask me for my risk management plan, what I do instead is send them a picture that asks you a series of questions like, how much do you want to risk? How much do you have on your equity? How many percent are you risking on this trade? What's the RR for this trade? Because those questions would ask you a personal question which requires a person to risk would be definitely different from what you have to risk. You understand? These are tips that can help you elevate your risk management understanding. Okay. So I'm just trying to break it down so you can also get an insight into that. So what you should be able to risk should be what you are willing to lose because in that way you don't get too bothered and then you don't get this psychological battle of what if the trade goes sideways. You understand? Because it was what you were willing to lose. So you lost it. You should have a backup plan. So don't trade what you cannot afford to lose. If you're trying to go live and you're thinking of whether a profit or a live account based on your capital, this is a battle that is not something that should be difficult for you because only you know your current stand financial status. Even I don't think most of our partners knows the actual current financial status of each of us except you're deeply in love. Only you really knows how much you can risk. So in each trade, take it that way as well. This is a possibility, and I can lose this trade. So if you have $50 and you know you don't have a backup fund somewhere else, and that is what you have to trade, first of all, you should be willing to lose that $50 because that could be a lesson you're about to pay $50 for, not a doubling scheme. So you don't get to double this one, you get to learn from it. Because that's how I lose my money. I don't lose to my bad trades, I lose to lessons. This is also a psychological tip you can carry on to. So some lessons are priceless. It doesn't matter the amount you fund, you learn them either way. While some lessons have a price, so you pay with your account. You understand? So make sure you don't get cheated. When you get cheated is when you lose money and you don't learn anything from it. You got cheated two ways. So make sure each time you lose money is a lesson to remember. So you cannot repeat that mistake again. You cannot afford to repeat that mistake again. So learn that lesson so you don't. The only reason you learned it is so you don't repeat it again. You understand? So you start to shrink your possibilities of losses. But then losses are inevitable. The day you stop learning, you what? You die. So if you start doubling and you stop learning, you know that's not balanced. You have to learn. I don't know. I want to bring you guys notice to 2024. This is a leap year. And maybe if you don't know the meaning of a leap year, you can make your own research to that now. If you also don't have time to make your research, you should understand that the word leap can go two ways. You can be leaping forward or you could be leaping backwards. It's only a leap year. So what is going to be happening in 2025 and probably till the next leap year, which will be the next 4 years, will be practically based on the effort you put in on that leap year, basically to the understanding of leap year. This also happens on candlesticks. When you see the daily candle, if it opens bearish, even before the day plays out, the possibilities of what will happen on that daily candles will be on the lower time frames of that daily candle will be based on the daily prediction. That's how multiple time frame analysis works. Whatever plays out on the 4-hour time frame gave a blueprint on the daily time frame. Whatever played out on the 5-minute time frame has a blueprint it followed from the 1-hour time frame. So that's how, it goes to the monthly and 3 months. That's why it's called top-down analysis. This has no difference from your everyday life, okay? So you should understand that we have a tracker which you can use to take your sheets and know where you are currently in life. But if you don't pay attention to it too, it's useless to you. But you should understand this. So don't be naive because you will end up hurting yourself. Thank you very much for having me today, Brainiac, and such a lovely event. I'm very, very happy to be a part of this. I thank you all, the listeners, for also giving me your time to share this wonderful period with you. If Brainiac decides to ask further questions, I'm available. If we're ending it here for today, thank you all for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. It's an honor to have you right here. I know we've actually stretched it. We should have it about 2 hours or an hour, 30 minutes, but now we've had 2 hours, 30 minutes. And it's amazing to see that at least we still have about 70 participants on the stream after 2 hours. That's impressive, knowing that a lot of people are actually learning from this. We can go on and on and we setting on this, thin informations about trading, the experience and the struggles. Trust me, there are so many things you can learn from Mr. John. And one of the things I've come to understand and appreciate from this stream is of all the experiences he has been giving us, he has not been telling us I made $20,000 in December, I made $50,000. No, he has been giving us a lot of psychological approach and what we can all relate to. Not everybody can relate to I've withdrawn $10,000 last week, I've withdrawn $5,000 last week. Not everyone can relate to that. But everyone can relate to the struggles he has shared with us. Everyone can relate with the self-doubt and how to navigate towards that. A lot of people can I think that is why people stay on the stream because we are speaking what they can understand. And I appreciate that from Mr. John. He has done justice to all questions that has been asked. And my own contribution to this is that when I'm in intelligent spaces like this, I thank them. In fact, I'm the host, but trust me, I have my daughter's food already. I have a lot of quotes written from Art, the trader, who is also a guest, from Mr. John, who is also the guest. I am the coach, I'm a mentor, but I have all these pen down. If I ask you, do you have them pen down? No, a lot of you just come into spaces like this, just listen like you're watching, you are listening to a relieving podcast sound, or you are watching Netflix, and at the end of the day, you forget them. And this is the problem with people. When you listen to educative content, when you listen to podcasts that can improve your lifestyle, don't just listen once and forget about them. Go back to them, listen again, and listen very well. Listen. There's a difference between listening to someone and listening very well. Listening very well to pick points that will make improvements in your life. And that is why we have this recorded session recorded. So that at the end of the day, you can go back to Mr. John's page and his YouTube, listen to them. But at the end of the day, I'm going to add his link to his channel so that you can follow up on his channel. And also, if you have questions to ask him personally, you can go to his DM and ask questions as well. This is going to be the end of our conversations, and this is going to be the end of my activities for 2024. And I'll be hoping to see you all energized for the next year. A lot of people would say, "Oh, Brainiac, people are locking in for the end of the year. Why are you leaving the market?" I'm leaving the market because I am a trader, and for trading, it is meant to give you freedom, not to be a slave. I'm not supposed to be a slave to the market. We are not living 9 to 5 to come and work 247. I'm living 9 to 5 so that I'll be comfortable and be free. And that's what I'm actually doing at the moment. So I'll see you guys when there's another space available, probably from another person, or I'll see you guys on my podcast next year. Same mentor, same channel. Thank you all for being part of these streams. I appreciate you all for taking your time to stay. Good luck and God bless you all.